Man alive, what a character we'll be covering in this marathon. Good old Montague, aka the beloved character known as Duck. They may say that he waddles like a duck, but to us fans, there's more going on to him than meets the eye. He's a character that sticks to the Great Western Way, and once had a passion to see the lands beyond the horizon. Now, originally, I was going to cover Ashima for this series, but I ultimately decided to drop her from it, because as much as I love Ashima, there's not really much going on with her. And plus, Duck has appeared way more than her, so good old Montague took her place. What an episode we have in store though, folks. So let's dive on in. Duck knows how to hold his own and tends to stand for no nonsense from any engines that might get ideas above their station and try to order him or others about. As a result of this and his strength, most tank engines look up to him. However, he has never got along particularly well with Thomas, partly due to the latter's cheeky antics. However, his morale code is not perfect, and he often favours fairness to kindness. He enjoys running like clockwork, without problems or interruptions, making him a very efficient and loyal engine. He takes tremendous pride in the responsibilities bestowed upon him, particularly in his role of running his own branch line with Oliver, sometimes known as the Little Western, as a result. Duck is cheerful, busy, mature, and tends to bustle about. He is very proud of his noble Great Western heritage. He is also shown to be kind to others, but the one engine he finds the most difficult to be kind to is Devious Diesel. Duck is often welcoming of newcomers, even most diesels, as long as they are not rude. He will often support the underdog, stick up for his friends, and help others see the error of their ways. However, occasionally he does have the tank engine sense of teasing the bigger engines such as Gordon. Duck is also known to have a rivalry with James, but he has earned the respect of the bigger engines and has firm friendships with Edward, Percy, Oliver, Toad, Boko, and the Scottish twins. Now, unlike the other characters where they've had multiple VAs, we only have one for Duck. That being Steve Kindman, who also voices characters like Paxton, Porter, and Peter Sam. Kindman does a marvellous job as the Great Western engine himself. He gives him a more northern kind of voice, which makes sense given the railway he's on. Not much else to say other than he definitely does himself justice as good old Montague. I bet all of you watching are going to guess what my favourite Duck-focused episode is. I'll give you 3 seconds to think. Oh, you all know me so well, it's without a doubt All at Sea. Funnily enough, I talked about how I adore this episode with Peter Sam the Narrow Gauge Engine in his Season 3 ranking video. And I also mentioned this in my Season 1 through 5 video. I adore this episode purely because of its message. Duck has a passion to see what's beyond the horizon, but the other engines say that he obviously can't because, well, he's a steam engine. And only after helping an injured sailor to Bertie, he now understands that Percy was right. He is more than happy being a steam engine. And the episode ends with this beautiful shot, accompanied by the narrator's ending line and the harmonious music by Mike and Junior. This is without a doubt one of the most emotional endings the show has ever had. Granted, it doesn't beat the ending of Lost Treasure for me, but this is probably the best ending to an episode ever. And it is carried by a wonderful character-driven story. As for Duck's worst episode, well, he hasn't really had any duds. Yeah, there were times where him sticking to the Great Western stick was a bit much, particularly in season 18. But aside from that, Duck stayed very on track for the majority of the series. Pun fully intended. There is no doubt that Duck is one of the most unique characters we've ever had in this show. He hasn't been through all that much, but whenever he popped up, it was neat. He was given the most amount of spotlight in season 3, and he was one of the first ever characters to be brought back for the Predator era. And even in the worst season ever, Duck appeared, and no matter how stupid an episode was, it was neat seeing him in it, regardless of the outcome. Hell, even in the Blubber era, he still managed to sneak in a spotlight episode, and it was great. I can absolutely see why Duck is a fan favorite character, and it's no wonder why Andrew Renner brought him back in 2013 and appeared for the remainder of the show's run. He's a Great Western engine, and is proud of his line that he runs on. And that's another Character Highlight Reel Part 2 episode in the books. I didn't really have that much to say in terms of Duck, but I still had fun covering this guy. For tomorrow's installment, we will be covering the Emerald Sterling engine herself, Emily. And if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on the newest content. Until next time, bye guys.